Hey everyone, my name's Adam Archer, and today we're going to be taking a look at what I picked up while traveling on the 127 sale. The 127 sale is a chain of yard sales that goes from Michigan to Alabama. It's about 700 miles, and people just set up yard sales along that street for about a week. Officially, I believe it's 4 days. It's about how long I normally will attend the yard sale, is about 4 days. So Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, with Sunday being a very light day. I normally go looking for camping gear and pocket knives. You can get some fantastic deals on both of them, as well as antiques and all that, but I'm more of finding stuff to either go camping with or for knife collecting. So the first thing I got was a Lodge Dutch oven. This is a 2-quart Dutch oven. It's in very good condition. It does have some rust on it, but I got this for $12. It does need some cleaning, but that's perfectly fine. I thought this would be a perfect size for me since I will either go, or I normally go either solo camping or camping with 1 or 2 other people, so that will be able to fit plenty of food versus some of the larger Dutch ovens that they have out there. So, very happy with that. You can see the bottom here. Make sure that's in frame. So next, let's take a look at the folding knives, and then we'll take a look at the fixed blade knives I got. If you want to see that in a different order, you can just scroll forward and then scroll back. So we got a Kershaw Blur with red handle. The interesting thing about this is that it has the snap-on logo right on the blade. It wasn't a very springy action on there, so I actually took the torsion bar out of another one of my Kershaw Blurs and put it in here. And another thing that kind of disappointed me that I didn't see originally on this knife, it looks like the tip is just slightly bent over. You can see that right there. So that's slightly disappointing, but it is still a very nice looking knife, especially with that snap-on logo. And now it is very swift. At that same yard sale, I purchased this old Spyderco Delica with partial serrations. I was trying to keep it in frame while opening it. That was terrible looking. Does have a bunch of rust on the blades. This is made in Seki City, Japan, and uses AUS 8 blade steel. Needs a lot of cleaning up. I did clean up a lot of the stuff that I'm going to show you, but this is one thing that I didn't bother cleaning up yet. It's a little bit sticky, the lock is, but it'll be able to clean up and look pretty nice. I think I paid $15 for the Kershaw Blur, the snap-on, maybe $10 for the Spyderco. Next, these technically aren't knives, but I thought they were pretty neat. I like collecting the old switchblades that you would find in like magazines and all that. When I purchased these at first, neither of them were open, and I thought they were little switchblades. Well, when I actually opened one, turns out they were actually switchblade pins, so no blade on it at all, but it is a writing pen. These were made, I believe, in the 80s. Let's see. So it doesn't say on here, but I believe I've read before that they were made in the 80s. This one's never been opened. Made in Hong Kong. Of course, the ink has dried up, and the quality isn't the best. I actually, trying to close this one, it won't actually lock closed unless you kind of push it in there a certain way. So, definitely not high quality, but I think these will be nice just to throw in my collection. I think they sell normally for like $15 or something on eBay. I got them for $5 a piece. I got this little Dura Safe. It's a little razor blade and what seems like plastic. I've seen these before, and I've kind of been wanting one to put into my survival kit. But whenever you're going to order from stuff or cheap things from websites, shipping just kills you. So purchase this for $1. Person would have sold it to me for 50 cents, but I didn't have change, and neither did he, so I just paid $1 for it. It's been used, so it's dull as anything, but I can sharpen up real easily. Thought that would be pretty good to just throw in a survival kit. Just have a little bit of a razor blade in a case. So yeah. Next is a old balisong. This is the Samurai Warrior, made in Seki, Japan by Valor. Nothing too special, but is a older balisong. It's not in fantastic condition, but of course nothing's like falling off or anything like that, so it is nice to put in a collection. And these Valor balisongs are semi-collectible. I believe I paid $15 for this. I'm not very good with balisong, but there you go. And the last folder I purchased was one that I had not seen very often. This is the Ontario, I think this is the Spec Plus Jump. It's a knife made by Ontario and uses actually 1095 blade steel, which you don't see very often on folders. Wasn't exactly a very popular folder, and doesn't seem to be exactly very high quality, but it is discontinued now. It did seem like it's gotten very heavy use. You can see on the handle there it's somewhat worn. There was rust all over the spine, and I got that removed. But rather neat, and it was fantastic for the price I paid for it. I think I paid $1 or $2, so can't beat that. Close that up. You can open it with one hand. It has that little groove in the side of the blade, so you can open it one-handed. Okay, let's take a look at the fixed blades. I think some of the fixed blades are the best deals that I got while on the 127 sale. Which normally I mostly find folders, but I think I scored best on the fixed blades this year. So let's take a look at the two cold steel knives I got. This one did not come with this sheath. I already had that. Came without. But what was interesting is these are actually the same model knife. One I purchased with a sheath and one without. And this is the Cold Steel SRK. And these are the USA made models. So you can see right on the tang. And these are actually two different generations of the same knife. They both have the carbon V steel, but here you can see it's a powder coat, and here it appears to be more of a, I guess, baked on finish. I don't know what the best terminology, some type of coating that isn't powder coated, but it has been used a lot more. I did purchase these from two different vendors. This one that I'm thinking this is the older one. You can see on the tang here. It just seems like it is a somewhat older model. The person originally said $1 for it, and then he changed his mind and said $5. I wasn't going to argue with him because I would have paid $10 or $15 at least. So I just purchased it for $5. Fantastic deal. And then this one with the sheath, I think I paid, it was either $25 or $30. I think it was $30. Pretty good condition. It does have some rust and a couple chips. The tip is broken on it, but I mean that will be very easy to fix with minimum issues. That rust will be easy to remove. Sheath is in a little bit poor condition with some rust on it. It came with a paracord lanyard that I cut off, but pretty good condition, especially because these USA made ones are not easy to find anymore, especially with the carbon V steel. And I believe carbon V is supposed to be 1095 with maybe extra chromium added. I may have gotten that element wrong, but it's supposed to be a upgraded version of 1095, although it's no longer produced. Carbon V isn't. The SK5 or SRK knives are still made by Cold Steel, although I believe they use maybe D2 as well as, let's see, they make some with AUS 8. I don't know, they use a bunch of different blade steels, I believe, for the SRKs. Next, we got a German-made kind of a hunting knife. You can see a nice leather sheath. It did have rust on all over the sheath, but I was able to remove most of it. This is probably one of my favorite designs of the fixed blades, just because it looks old, has a nice patina on it. It did have some rust, but was able to remove that. And this is the Sheriff knife. Don't remember the brand. I know I looked it up. It has the 3 arrows right there. 3 arrows in a hand. That was the company's logo. And it is made in Solingen, Germany. You have the model number right there. But overall, it is in fantastic shape, excluding, of course, the patina, but for an old-looking knife, it is in good shape. And very happy that it did include the sheath. Right there. I think I may have paid 20 bucks for it. So very happy about that. This was one that I found on its own. I was on the edge whether I wanted to get it or not. And this is an Explorer. These were made in Japan. But they were popular, I think, in the 90s. The Explorer brand was. So recognized the brand, hadn't seen this model before, so I thought I'd just go ahead and get it. The person was asking 5. Since I was on the fence, I asked if they'd take 4, and they said yes. So picked this one up. It's kind of nice. Seems to be in good condition, so will be nice to add to the collection. The sheath is pretty poorly made, and nothing to really talk about. Never checked these little pouches to see if anything was in them, but there's not. There we go. Made out of Cordura. 2 more knives to go. It's already been 13 minutes. This is probably the best deal that I got. Purchased this from the same guy that I got the Dutch oven from, and I purchased something from this person every single year. As long as he has his yard sale going. 1 year he did not, so of course didn't purchase anything from him then. But this is the Gerber Magnum. So it is a hunting knife by Gerber. I believe they called this the armor hide type handle. And it is in very good condition. It does have some rust spots, but the blade itself appears to have never been sharpened or used, so that's fantastic. It normally came with a secondary fixed blade called the Pixie. This one was missing that knife. Sheath is in some pretty bad shape. The interesting thing is that the knife itself does not say Gerber anywhere on it. However, on the back of the sheath right here is the only place that says Gerber. So I thought that was somewhat interesting. I paid $5 for it. I looked on eBay, and I've seen them sell with the secondary knife for like $300. So I thought that was pretty awesome. And the last knife. This was the one that I paid the most for. This is the Buck Knives Koa. I don't know how to pronounce that, but it is by Buck Knives. Kind of reminds me of the Kalinga. Has nice micarta handles. I believe probably the 420 HC blade steel, but absolutely beautiful. The funny thing was so the price on it, I think, said $95. I asked the person if they could do a little bit better. They said they'd take $75, so I purchased it. And then right under here, must have thrown the little sticker away, but right underneath the sheath it said $200. So I thought that was a little bit funny. Has a nice leather sheath that it comes with. Doesn't appear to have ever been used, but doesn't have the paperwork. But still, the box is in very good condition in itself. Knife probably is worth about $150, so got a really good deal on it. But still had to pay up some money compared to most of the knives I purchased at this sale. So it does look like it has a couple rust spots. Can just remove that with maybe some aluminum foil and water. That tends to work very well at getting minor rust. You can see that right back there. There you go. Anyways, thank you for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed, and have a great day.